Hey everyone, I recently applied C6 ceramics to my car and wanted to share my experience applying a ceramic coating for the first time. The dealer had already installed a ceramic coating when I first bought my car. In order to maintain it, what I thought was the best idea was to get an unlimited car wash at one of those automatic car wash locations. I would go in there 2 to 3 times a week. I did that for about 4 years. That took its toll on the vehicle. Um, it wasn't till about a year ago that I started watching videos on YouTube about car detailing, and I realized how much damage I had made to my vehicle. At that point, I started noticing all the swirls and all the water, all the minerals that had collected on the paint. So I decided that I needed to do a new ceramic coating on my vehicle. One of the first channels that I started watching on YouTube was DIY Details. I found that Nick and Ivan explained their products and their processes very well. Their videos encouraged me that I could do it as a home enthusiast. And so after watching quite a few videos and reviews, I decided to go with C6 Hydro Lite. I wanted a easy to install coating with the high-end performance. Um, and another driving point to picking a DIY details product, the ceramic coating, was that I could go back and watch one of their videos on how it was installed, and that I could always post on their Facebook, or I could get a response from Ivan or Nick or some other DIY team member. I tried to stay as much as possible in the DIY detail line of products. Um, I knew that I could find a video that would explain the process of that product. I began by washing the car with Rinseless, and then I did deviate a little bit. I couldn't find any of the DIY detail iron remover, so I did use some of the Adams Polishes iron remover. And I wasn't sure if that iron remover was compatible with the decontamination towel. So what I ended up doing was just spraying that liberally all over the car, let it dwell for a little bit, and then rinsed it off. After I was done with the iron remover, I used the decontamination towel and went through the whole car. And at the end, I did use the water spot remover from DIY Detail, and I sprayed that, a few sprays on each panel, then let it dwell for a second, and then used a microfiber to spread it all around the panel. Next, I moved on to polishing the vehicle. I was really a little bit nervous. I'd never polished a car in my life before and wasn't sure what to expect. Um, so I started off with a little test area with the gold standard polish and the gold waffle pad. And the cut wasn't enough. I could still see a lot of swirls. 3 years, 4 years of automatic car washes took its toll, where I needed something a little bit more aggressive. So I ended up using the DIY Details wool pad. And with 3 or 4 passes of that, the car paint, most of those swirls were gone off the paint. I did that with a Harbor Freight polisher, a DA polisher. It was their long throw polisher, and I kept it at speed 3. I didn't want to push any speed, or I was going very slow and meticulous throughout the vehicle, and just being precautious as it being my first time, and didn't want to ruin anything. Overall, the experience was really great, and you can see the results there. Was it perfect? No, but what mattered was I was happy with the results. Now to apply C6 app, which is the recommended prep before applying Hydro Lite, I used a cordless random orbital sander and DIY Details red jeweling pad. A couple of dots of adhesion promoter polish on the pad does go a long way. As you can see, I have a couple of dots on there. And get ready for it, but make sure you put the pad onto the car before starting the polisher. It actually helped out because I think I had put a little bit too much on the initial application on those dots that went a long way. It spread the other uh, the adhesion promotion polish was flung all over the hood, so it kind of um, dispersed it a little bit. That way it wasn't a heavy coat. But using the orbital sander was a breeze. It was just going through the panels, applying it, and making sure you were leaving tracks. There was a scent of tea tree oil that it would leave behind. And one thing I noticed was as you were running out, when it was started to leave the tracks of the app on the car, the scent kind of went away as well. So you had both indicators, a visual and a smell that kind of indicated that, hey, it's time to add another dot of polish onto the pad. But overall, this process was very easy to apply, and I went and did the whole car before removing it. Here's an example of how the app looks applied. You can see the tracks, the swirls in the paint throughout the hood there. Removing app was a breeze. I ended up using 2 towels for this. If anything, the second towel reminded me not to touch the clean surface and recontaminate it. I used the first towel to take off the app, and then the second towel as an insurance wipe. And that worked really well for me. Made it real easy. Now it's on to the coating process. First of all, you want to make sure that you shake your coating very well. Make sure you get all the solvents and the solids mixed in there and begin applying to your pad. Just a heads up on this one. Be careful with the dropper because the coating came out super fast. And you'll see it here. First drops came out quite quickly. And I added a few more drops, probably not needed, in order to prime the pad. I wanted to get more distribution on the pad, but I probably didn't have to do that. And the application was very easy. I started off in that corner and just went off and boxed in a bigger area there, started swirling it or applying it in circles in a bigger area. I think that was another mistake I did. I selected an area that was probably too big, where I had a moment where I panicked a little bit. The weather was around 65 degrees and the humidity was in the teens. And I thought I was going to have a long working time. It wasn't the case. I started noticing flashing in about 30 seconds, even under those conditions. So just a heads up, try your a little test area so you could see what to expect. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the towels out of the bags yet, and so I was rushing. I was a little worried that I might make a mistake, and I was looking for it, but I wasn't sure if it was ready, and just it was a learning process here. As I was wiping, I started noticing how slick that was. Even with the first the leveling pass, it was super, super slick. Another lesson learned was just be prepared. I should have had those towels out and ready to go so that I could go with my initial level and my final wipe down there. But overall, it was very, very easy and nothing very complicated. Again, careful with the dropper there because quite a bit comes out. And I went ahead and did the initial mistake again of putting it on a area probably too big, especially being the first time I do this, right? So now I know a little better and try a test area first. The other advice that I would have would be to get some help. My brother had just shown up and I got him to help me out. Once that happened, it went so much quicker. I would apply, he would do the initial level, and I would do the final insurance wipe. Not only did it make it faster, but now we had two sets of eyes to make sure that we were not leaving any high spots. And here are the results. The car came out super, super shiny. The smoothness, the slickness of the paint is something I had never experienced on any car. As you can see, there's a mirror-like reflection. The paint looks shiny again, and I don't remember the car ever looking this good. The process was very simple. It was time consuming. I did it over 2 days. Took me 8 hours to do the whole car, 10 hours maybe. But at the end of the day, it was well worth it. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. Do I recommend C6 Hydro Lite? Absolutely. This was fun. Look, you can see the reflection of that freeze so clearly there. Finally, what I want to share is, if you're thinking of doing this, go out and do it. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. See you next time.